All right, I think this will be the last one, or second to last, episode of From Me to You, anime romance series. You got to see the other episodes that I made. Spoiler alerts, big, but we're talking about the entire show. They come back from the trip from Okinawa. Also, please phone, don't stop recording. I gotta get through this. Kento is talking with Ayane. Ayane keeps running away from him, like he can't break through to her. She has all, he says later with Kasehe, she has like all these walls up. Even before that, he's like, oh, Pin, don't joke about it. I'm kind of serious with her when he's joking about, like, are you a couple? And he's kind of like, he's like a flirt. Like, I like Kento. He's like playful. But it's also genuine. Then, oh my goodness. I think I cried. I'll admit it. We go into a deep story with Chizu. Chizu thinks everything's messed up because Ryu confessed to her. One thing I've never understood, by the way, is how when people think that someone confesses, like, that they like them, I don't want to say they confesses their love to them, it's like, oh, it's awkward, it's the end of the world. I've had girls, I know, I'm quite the heartbreak, I'm just kidding. I've had girls confess to me that they like me. It's the best feeling. And I'm like, sometimes I'm like, either I was in a relationship or I didn't necessarily feel the same way. But I was like, that isn't going to change anything. I feel flattered. I feel like liked. Why would that ever be a bad thing or make things awkward? You know, I still want to be friends. Chizu blows it out of proportion. She's like, boom, a bomb. And I'm like, then we get backstory on Chizu and Ryu. And we find out Ryu really likes rice balls, and his mom always makes it for them. Brings them to their place. Chizu's mom and dad, I think. Or, we never see her dad, just her mom. Same, yes. And they send sushi back and forth and whatnot. So we go back to their childhood. Rice balls. Ryu's mom's making them. They're together, having fun. 2 peas in the pod, taking pictures. Ryu's always kind of quiet. But Chizu understands him. And it would make sense for them to be together. And even Ryu, like, he genuinely says it in a season 2, I think. I like you, Chizu. And she thinks it's a joke. He's just, like, unfazed. Oh my goodness. Are you sitting down? Like, you better be prepared for this. Spoilers, by the way. Then it's snowing. And they both get wrapped up to go out. And they're like, oh, hold hands, go out. Like, get to school safely. Ryu's mom dies in a car crash. Hits a pole in the snowstorm. She was the sweetest woman. And Ryu's dad is amazing too. And all this pain. Oh my goodness, the saddest part didn't even happen yet. This is a secondary... No, I'll say this part first. You know what? Let me get this other part out of the way. Toru leaves for college, I think, or is far away. Chizu says, oh, I'm going to be your sibling now. Like, I got your back. Toru says, take care of Ryu. And Toru is Ryu's older brother and says, Ryu, take care of Dad. I'm counting on you. So that's how their relationship developed. Chizu thinks it's all weird now. Chizu, it's not weird. And she thinks that's like the worst thing in the world. And she's like, oh, it's so heartbreaking. And I want to make another video about this for my own personal life. She's like, we're going to like be together forever. So why are you ditching Ryu? I don't get it. I mean, maybe she's having her emotional moment. From personally Chizu, I get it. So the sad part. Chizu, like, maybe not the next day, but when they're going to school next, Ryu walks out the door and she ties his scarf around the same way his mother tied his scarf around. I was like, oh my goodness. Chizu starts crying at the funeral. Ryu's kind of conceited or emotionally inward. He's not emotional. Just like, he's there. On his steps, there's rice balls, but like they're like all messed up. Chizu's like a young kid. She like burns her hand, and they all kind of come out messed up, and she wraps it and puts it in the winter on like in tinfoil, not tinfoil, saran wrap, and puts it on his porch. Ryu thinks it's for his brother Toryu. This is before he leaves, by the way. And Ryu thinks, oh, she has a crush on Toryu. Of course he's going to say that. He finds out that she wants to marry him when she's older, at a young age, when she writes it down on a wish thing. The rice balls keep coming, and they slowly start to get better because Chizu starts making them better and better each time, closer to how his mom made it. And Ryu's inside one day in a snowstorm, and Chizu's outside. And you can see the shadow of Chizu, little Chizu. And she comes up with the plate and puts down the rice balls, and they're getting better and better. He opens the door, and she starts crying and bawling. And she's like, I made these for you. Not Toryu, you, Ryu. And he starts bawling too, and they hug each other in the snowstorm. So sad. It was such a heartfelt, heart-wrenching moment. Then we get Ayane. Ayane's going through it. Kento's kind of always been there for her, or is kind of hanging around her. Ayane's like running away, trying to figure out how to get close to her. What else happened? Oh my goodness. We're gonna beat down. I think Chizu and Ryu are more normal now. I don't know if there's any other characters, but Endo and Tomi, they were season 1, became closer friends with Kuronuma. I forgot to mention that. They're chill. She has like her own friends and whatnot, and that's great. Friends with the other girls, and she kicks a soup. She's literally like pro football player, soccer player, soccer. Sorry, launches the ball across the field in season 1. Wow, Kasehaya thought of that. I think that's everyone for the most part that we've deep dived into. Now I think we're at present day. If there's anything I'll mention in the final video, I'm surprised my phone doesn't stop recording because of the space on my phone. Kasehaya, after they almost kissed, starts getting distant with Kuronuma. And people know this. I almost said Teto. Kento sees this. Ayane sees this. I think Chizu even sees it. What? And then, oh my goodness. I'm glad I have like time to talk about this. I have like more time in the video because they let me 15 minutes. Sorry if I talk fast. Kasehaya is like all worked up. They're not holding hands. They're not hugging. They're not getting close to each other. And like I said, Sawako's character is amazing. Her character growth. She's like everything you could ever want and more. And she like takes the step. And so, okay, they're not holding hands. They're not talking. They're barely even calling each other first names. They're not even hanging out after school. They're like, I'm like, are you guys divorced? What's going on? And it's freaking Kasehaya. It's Kasehaya. Your crown has been revoked. Kuronuma goes after him, and actually they're like in a relationship, and she's acting like it, and she's like, she sits him down. This just happened. I just saw this, by the way. She was like, Kasehaya, is there anything that's bothering you? And he takes, her hand is on him. Nice. He takes her hand. I thought they were going to intertwine fingers. They baited us by doing that. And he takes his hand off of her. And he says, nothing is wrong, and walks away. Kasehaya. Kuronuma's dad said to treat her right. What are you doing? And then I think the most thing that's caught up to the present, again, if there's anything else, I'll mention it in the final episode. Actually, what I said the first time. Then meets up with Kento. Kento's honestly like so integral to all these people. He literally is. When Kuronuma called him master, he is. Even like Ayane is slowly becoming a Kento girl, and that's not a bad thing to be. He's honestly a great guy. I don't know if anyone else we deep dive or get mentioned to. We have a deep dive into Chi, Ryu. Now we're getting to Ayane. Kento's always been kind of open, piecing everything together. Kuronuma happened to start. Everything's kind of going on. We get Ume, Kurumi, and some of the other girls. Then we have the friends. Now we're at present day. Kento meets with Kasehaya, and he's like, I like someone. And literally Kasehaya is so defensive. And he's like not even acting like Kuronuma's boyfriend and talking to her and having an actual relationship with communication. Communication is so important. And if you don't think so, watch this show. And he's like, he stands up and slams on the table and he's like, she's mine. I'm like, not for long if you keep acting like that. And then Kento starts laughing in character. He's like, no, I'm talking about Ayane. He's actually falling for her. And what he said to Ayane, even as jokes, a little bit, not really, he meant it. He's like, I am serious about you. I like you. It would be nice to be Ayane's boyfriend. And he's been in love once, but we don't really get into that too much. That would be interesting. I think there's only 1 or 2 episodes left. There might be a lot to go down. That's 2 hours. That's like a movie's worth. Oh my goodness. And Kasehaya is like, oh, I've always been seen as the wholesome one. And Kuronuma's this nice woman. She has this perception, but he's like, I don't think everyone or Kuronuma truly understands what I am. I'm not that guy. I don't know if this has to do with the innocent and behaving yourself that her dad and the guy said at the end of the school year at the auditorium, or like behave yourself kind of. But like he's talking like, what are you, Batman? Like, are you? Do you put on a cape at night and like go around fighting people? Like, is there something that people don't know? Do you like break their legs? Are you a bad guy? Like, was this a front all along? This has been going on for a year, and you're now mentioning this to us, and you're not treating her right because of that? What? And talk to her. He's like, I don't think anyone truly understands what I am. I'm not the wholesome guy. Do you know? I don't know if you guys know maybe it's like, I'm not gonna mention because it shall not be named social media app where there's a picture with like, you know, the dog with the what is it, is it Daredevil mask, and there's like evanescence in the background. That's what Kasehaya is. Shoto, get your stuff together now. So that's where I'm leaving off. I'm gonna go back. Kuronuma goes home. They just walked home, split up, no hug, no hand holding. No, like, he was like, bye, and Kuronuma was like, yeah. She's going home, she's sad. Kasehaya, what are you doing? What? Nothing justifies this behavior towards her. You're making her feel bad. Other people can see it. She reached out to help you. It's not a big deal. This might be a deep dive into Kasehaya. I don't know if something happened to him. We know Kuronuma, Sawako, did not do anything. Queen, forever and always. Unless she, like, I don't know, stabs him at the end of this show. That's the only thing I could possibly see. Kasehaya has to get his stuff together. What is he doing to her? I'm very interested to see what happens with Kento and Ayane. She and Ryu seem to be getting better. I think everything's fine, all dandy. Can Joe please get a girlfriend by the end? He is funny, bro. He deserves it. He seems like a great guy. I hope Endo and Tomo, right, are all right. And I'm convinced he's like a masked superhero. Or no, the way he talks, he's a vigilante. He's doing some bad stuff. Maybe he's a criminal. If he's gonna break her heart, and it's gonna be so sad. And there's not enough time left in the series for either her to find someone else. Like, they're meant to be together, and he's messing this up with his secret identity. I'm interested to see it. Here for the drama. Yes, I know it's a show. They're doing a good job. I'm out of my seat. I'm on the edge of my seat. They're doing a great job. Kasehaya, pull it together. I want to see you two end up. And he just met with her dad, and they're being all nice. And her dad's hilarious because they're like, they want to spend Christmas together, which her dad allows, but then they're all going to party together, so they're not going to be alone. Her dad is like so happy, and I'm like, this guy is the best. Her dad. Kasehaya, do not break her and her family's heart. They will find you. I will find you, Shoto Kasehaya. And as for Kuronuma Sawako, you're the best, honestly. All right, video's about to end. Almost 15 seconds. I have 15 seconds left, almost 15 minutes. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed. Highly recommend the series. I'll watch and give you an update. Surprise my phone doesn't run out of space. I appreciate it. The support for the channel really helps out. And I'll see you in the next video. Hope you enjoy. And peace.